to a morning analysis, even though it's not the morning, it is 7 o'clock. But it's currently London session, so it's not in New York yet. I'm going to start on NASDAQ. The charts are a little bit messy at the moment. I feel like I've kind of got a very similar markup that I had at the start of the week, so I'm actually just going to clear the whole thing because I just want a fresh, clean start. Keep it alert there. I'm going to get rid of this alert because I can't remember what it's for. Can't remember what this alert is for. Can't remember what... Oh, that's for the gap. Price doesn't look like it's filling that gap. Okay, let's do fresh, clean slate. I'm going to mark up this high because that's like overall where price has reacted from, I guess. I had said before that this could be an ICC setup, so it could be indication, correction, continuation, but I want to see price break this high so that can give me extra confidence to get into a long around here. But obviously this is like, what do you call it? It's very like long ago. Like that indication happened a very long time ago. So I don't know, would I trust it? Not sure. However, it's there. It's just something to keep in mind. There's also this gap here, which I thought price would gravitate towards, but it doesn't seem like it's doing that at the moment. However, it has kind of formed a lower high here, and it does look like it's continuing down, but it hasn't broken a low yet. So, yeah, a little bit interesting where price is moving right this second. We've got this high here on the 4 hour. Yeah, we got that high, and then obviously we've got this overall. I think this is all-time highs. I'm not sure though, because I'm not really familiar with NASDAQ, but I'm pretty sure it's all-time highs. Don't quote me though. Obviously we're pushing up from here. Price is bullish above. Price seems to be bearish below because it's had reactions going down, so I'm just going to say bearish below. Oh, wrong thing. So bearish below. I'm going to make that pink. Okay, I'm going to scale down into the 1 hour now because I feel like I don't want to overcomplicate it with a bunch of like really, really, not really, really high time frame stuff, but a bunch of 4 hour levels. Okay, obviously we've kind of got, I would say this is an area of support, to be honest, like this whole area here, because price seems to be making reactions here, but it is kind of forming higher lows. But at the same time though, again, I just think it's an area of support. We've kind of made a head and shoulders pattern, it looks like. So I'm going to mark out this as an area of support. What is it in ICC terms? Buyers are sitting here. And it's interesting because each of them has left like pretty solid wicks, if you know what I mean. Like, let me change. I want it to be pink because I feel like that would just look better with it aligns with the candlesticks. But as you can see, because we're on the 1 hour as well, so I feel like the candlesticks do matter on the 1 hour a little bit more than they matter, say, on like the 5 minute. But there's a doji here where prices reacted and pushed up. A doji here where prices reacted and pushed up. This one's, it's kind of a doji, but it's got a little bit more of a body than wicks, but the wicks are still pretty even on both sides. And then this one was just a wick, but look at the big push up from that. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is an area of very strong buyers, so I'm going to mark that out. I would, because earlier on this week, I thought that we were going to get a bearish continuation, because as you can see, we've got this low here, we've got a correction. No, we've got this low, we've got a lower high, we've got an indication where price has broken past this low, we've got this correction where price has made it a lower high. Even though it's continued up from that and broken another high, it hasn't broken past this high. So after this high is broken, then the setup is invalidated. But it has broken this high as well, so I don't know how strong I feel about this. But look, price has formed another lower high again, so if it breaks past this area of buyers and breaks past here and like continues to go down after filling in this gap, potentially could take sellers down to this level. But we'll just have to see what happens, to be honest, because I think the US government shutdown is it's expected to be lifted or reopened today, like later today. I assume it's going to be a New York session, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have already reopened and I just haven't realized, but I'm pretty sure it's tonight. The New York session today. But yeah, so if the if the US shutdown is ended, if the US government reopens, then I think NASDAQ could potentially push up because it is a US instrument. But again, it's not like the S&P 500 where it's like the top 500 companies, it's the tech ones. So I'm not sure, but I might be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure, but all I'm seeing here is head and shoulders pattern. We've got price making a high, failing to make another high, heading down. It's not 100% down yet because it hasn't hit this level of buys yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark an alert here. I'm going to have an alert. I'm going to have the alert above here because I feel like that's where it actually matters. And then I'm going to have an alert at that gap, which is basically at this level as well. I might just move it here. And then I'm going to have an alert. I'm going to leave it at that because those are the alerts where I should be heading back onto the charts to see what's happening. So I'm going to leave NASDAQ at that because I don't want to overcomplicate it by going down in time frames because that's overall, this is what we're seeing. And really just want to wait until price breaks these lows or breaks this high. But we'll see. And then for gold, we have a push up. I'm going to get rid of these. Actually, let me get rid of these first. And then let's go on to we already are on the 4 hour. Let me redo this. Let me get rid of all these alerts because there's too many. Leave an alert down here because I feel like that's the low of this whole bearish push. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I get rid of this one. Okay. So we've got this high here, which is kind of similar to this area. So we've got some sellers sitting here. We'll go price is bearish below. Is that going to be 100% forever? No, but for now, it looks like price is bearish below that level. But we'll have to see what price is looking like when it does head towards that level, if it does. And then we can obviously see we've got the all-time highs here, double top right here. Gonna mark it like that. All-time high. I'm gonna make that pink because it's low-key like bullish. If it breaks that. But yeah, we've got this new indication, I'd say, and price has done somewhat of a correction, but not really a significant one, in my opinion. I'm gonna mark it out though because it is like a swing low, and price is gonna be bullish above that. I want it like exactly at that wick bottom. Okay, that's pretty accurate. Okay, I'm going to mark an alert when price reaches all-time highs, obviously. And yeah, it just looks like there's not really too much to really look at here. It looks like buyers are very strongly in control, but then if the US government reopens, we could potentially expect gold to go down. That's not 100% because also none of this is actually 100% when it comes to US government shutdown because when the US government reopens, we'll get new data. So if like NFP is looking bad for the US, then gold could continue up. So I feel like, I don't know. It's all, what's it called? Opinion based. I can't think of what the word is, but it's all like opinion based. Nothing, just because the US government reopens doesn't mean that anything's going to do anything. It can really just do whatever it wants. Anyway, it's a bit choppy here. I wouldn't really call that it's not really a nice retrace. There's not really any bearish structure, I'd say, in my opinion. So I would still want to see gold come back down to this level over here, which I can see it hasn't already, so I'm not sure how I would trust it. We've got somewhat of a high here, which could be seen as an indication level, so price could be indicating correcting and doing a continuation. Let's go into the 15-minute. I don't want to go into the 5-minute yet. Yes, you've got an indication, correction, continuation, and then you could have maybe entered here. But that's the first hour of London. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, but then what are you targeting, actually? I'm wrong. What are you targeting? Because there's no indication. This would be where you'd want to enter. So look at the 5-minute. Yeah. Even like with that candle close, like no. Anyway, kind of irrelevant because it's not on the 1 hour. So yeah, we got that high. I guess I'll just leave it marked out, but nothing significant to take any trades off of. I don't know if I'll be able to trade gold today because it just doesn't look. Well, it just doesn't really look promising, to be honest, because we did have this big move up. I will still be expecting a retracement, but it might not happen, and that's completely fine. But what I want to see is either a retracement and some good bullish structure to continue upwards, even though I think it does need to retrace a little bit more. And then what was this one? This one's a low. Price is bullish above that. Anyway, I feel like that's overcomplicating it. I feel like those two levels don't need to be there. Anyway, I'd want to see a correction here ideally, and then a continuation. That's like ideal world, what I want to see. But I don't know if that's going to happen, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like gold is moving funny. But it's been moving funny. Maybe I'm just not good at reading gold. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at the DXY and see what the DXY is saying. Let's move to my weekly analysis where the chart is marked up. Okay, so we've crossed bearish on the DXY. We've crossed that dynamic support line. So that is interesting. So we could be pushing down even more, which means that we could, because again, we had a doji yesterday. It wasn't even a doji. I don't know what that is. A hammerhead or something. I don't know. But we've got a doji here at that level, and then price is just pushed below. So that should mean that gold is going up, which it has been going up. So that makes sense. That correlates. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess it's not really fully bearish until it crosses this low. I don't know what that previous alert was for, but it didn't really look very useful. It's not really bearish until it crosses here fully, because then it's like that should switch the whole direction of the trend. But if the US reopens, I would predict that, again, it's just a prediction, it's not like 100%, but I would say that it will probably go up, but I don't know 100%. So don't quote me on that. Could definitely do something else. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. See if it actually closes there. We're on gold. It does look like it's headed towards all-time highs, to be fair. Wait, what am I on? I'm on the weekly analysis. I was like wondering why my chart looked so different. So we definitely crossed this dynamic resistance level. We're trailing off. Well, we've pushed off of this dynamic support. And yeah, we haven't had any bearish days. Wait, no, am I doing the right thing? Gosh, why did I struggle doing that so much? I guess I'm just going to pop an alert here because I would just be curious to see how price reacts to those levels. And then I'll also pop an alert here because I want to know if price does end up making a correction back down there. And then yeah, that's really it. I'll be scaling in throughout the day and seeing what price does end up doing. But for now, really that's it. There's not really much I can say that I'm particularly like waiting for. It would really just be, are we going to retrace to here and continue to push up? Are we going to retrace to here and continue to push up? Or are we going to like do nothing? I don't know. But yeah, let's journal. Okay. Pre-market analysis. Obviously the date and the session doesn't really matter. The instrument is what matters. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste these because obviously we've got gold and Nasdaq. Oh, I forgot the I. Okay. We'll start with gold because that's what I most recently marked up. High time frame bias is bullish. I don't even need to check the chart to know that. Key levels would be that bearish below level and all-time highs. I think those are the only real key levels. I wouldn't call these key levels. It's just what I'm marking out for like a mental note as to areas to look at, but I'm not really 100% sure what price is really going to do between here and here. But I mean, it is gravitating towards all-time highs. I think once we've got the data from the US coming out, it'll be a lot better price action. Just because, we can base a lot more on things. See if all of this comes out, that'll be great. Didn't even check news yet, but let's just finish this. News events. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. We got trendy. My buys today will be buys. Setups I'm waiting for, corrections, and continuations. I can't say what exact level I want it to correct to. I just have to wait and see what it actually does. Invalidation, if price is choppy, max risk is going to continue to be 1%. Trade management is 1 trade a day. And then let's move to NASDAQ. I need a reminder because I forgot what it looked like already. Why does that looks really choppy now that I'm zoomed in. It looks pretty choppy. But is just a head and shoulders, so it looks like it's doing a reversal, but I can't 100% say that because it hasn't broken that high. I'm gonna say high time frame buys would be buys. No, buys or sells. I'm gonna say undetermined. Key levels would be the high and low of head and shoulders. And then this indication level, the bearish indication level. I'd love to see price go back to that bearish indication level and see if price actually does end up continuing, but I honestly don't know if it will, especially if the government reopens, but we'll just have to wait and see. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Market conditions, they look like they're reversing. I don't know yet. My bias today is again undetermined. Setups I'm waiting for. Now I feel like no, it's not an uptrend yet. It's not broken this high. News events. Wait, no. Setups I'm waiting for would be either the bearish continuation or the I guess a new indication I'd be waiting for if it's gonna go bullish. Invalidation is if price is choppy, and then max risk is demo, so risk is really none. Let's have a look at the news. Thursday, I feel like, where is my freaking news? What the hell? Yeah, it is. Huh? It literally says this news on TradingView. Maybe they rescheduled the news, or maybe they called it off, and maybe that's why it's not on Forex Factory. I guess I'm just gonna say it's none. Actually, no, I'm gonna say US might reopen, because that's what's from the podcasts that I've listened to. They say that the US government is going to be announced whether or not it will reopen today, but it just might not happen, or I might just have the day wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it might reopen, and I guess that's the main news event. Didn't even write what instrument. Okay, how am I feeling? Feeling pretty calm. I don't feel the need to rush into trades today, or even at all, just because I've been demo trading. So I feel like I've kind of scratched the itch to trade, and I feel like, I'm not super rushed into it. Obviously, I would like to take a trade on my live account, but I do want to wait for a good setup rather than just getting in on whatever. I actually wait for the setup that I back tested and traded this whole time instead of yeah, I don't know. But I'm still feeling pretty calm. And excited for the government to reopen. But we'll see what happens. Rules to remind myself: market always presents opportunity, and you can learn without putting risk on the table. But yeah, that's my analysis. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen today. But yeah, hopefully someone took something of value from this. And yeah, if you have any advice, let me know. And yeah, I'll speak to you later. Bye.